Hey guys, Tracy Koa, Dustin Gorowski asked me to tell them why I think having trust is so important. They're doing so many trainings on trusts and corporate structures. They're working with Prime. Hopefully you guys are working with Prime as well. But I want to tell you the number one and the number two reasons why I love having a trust, okay? Number one, Nathan, let's go down to the desk. People need to see the desk, okay? Number one reason why is because I don't want people, okay, to know who I am. And what do I mean by this? I had a really great story. I had a tenant who clogged a toilet, caused an issue in one of my properties, and she went to sue me. It's a great story. So Nathan, come back up here. Let's tell you this really quick story. It's amazing. And this lady complained about my corporate structure to the judge. That's how good this corporate structure was. So check this out. I get a trust set up. The trust owns the LLC that owns the houses. And so my tenant, she was playing a joke on just her boyfriend. She was playing a joke on her boyfriend where she wrapped the toilet with Saran Wrap. So when he came home and he went pee, he peed all over the Saran Wrap. She thought this was so funny. She put it on TikTok and she was talking about it on social media, which is how we found out what she did. My wife went and sleuthed on her and figured this out. But when she was done with this really funny joke, she took the Saran Wrap and shoved it down the toilet thinking you could flush Saran Wrap. People should know you cannot flush Saran Wrap. It clogs the toilet. It's on the second story. It goes and floods the whole entire back wall, and we get all this mold and all sorts of stuff. She calls. It's during COVID. She calls and she goes, I'm moving into a hotel. I'm moving into the Ritz-Carlton, and you need to be paying me this, that, and the other. She calls my property management company. My property management company says, sorry, that's not how it works. You need to give us 24-hour notice. We'll send a repair person over there. So we send a repair person over there. Her father swings an axe at my plumber who went to go look at this property, literally swings an axe at him because he says, this is not a flooded toilet. You did something to this toilet. And it really frustrated this lady. She was unhinged. She was crazy. And we had to do an emergency eviction because it was during COVID. So I had to call an attorney. I said, here's what's going on. My wife went and screenshotted and recorded her TikTok where she flooded the toilet and did all this kind of stuff. And we found out her boyfriend, who was not even on the application, was also a convicted felon. So welcome to real estate, guys. You do not want your tenants to know who the hell you are because not only are they crazy and unhinged, but they also have boyfriends that are freaking convicted felons that they sneak into your property. So what happens is we take her to court. And I'm on Zoom. She's in the actual physical court. This is during COVID. And I have Anonymous as my Zoom name. And my attorney is representing me. And he's saying, my client, this, that, and the other. And the lady, the tenant, she says, I demand to know who my accuser is. I looked up the LLC and I couldn't find out. It's just a trust. I looked everywhere. And she was trying to find out where I lived. Guys, I got a wife and kids. I don't need some crazy, batshit crazy person finding out where my family lives. And so a trust protects me in any state. Okay. You cannot look up the owner of a trust. Okay. A trust will shield all the ownership of every LLC. So when you look up my LLCs, for example, you can go to the Arizona Corporation Commission right now. And you can go Google Moving Forward Ventures, and you will find Moving Forward Ventures is owned by Saguaro Cactus Holdings, and Saguaro Cactus Holdings is owned by Cholla Cactus Trust. And you can't see my name anywhere. Nowhere is my name, not in one single place. And so for me, I don't want people knowing what I own, where I live, any of those types of things. That is done with a trust. Well, Pace, couldn't I have some privacy with an LLC? Yeah, that's pretty simple to get around. A trust is the end all be all of asset protection and privacy. Okay, so that's number one. And who set up my trust is Prime, the same company that Tracy and Dustin are working with. Prime is who set up my trust. So go work with Prime. They'll help you out. Now, the second reason why I want to have a trust, this is crazy in probate. Okay, I want to avoid probate. This is bonkers to me that every single month in Phoenix, Arizona, 600 people are forced to go through probate. 600 people. Okay, so there's 600 new opportunities for wholesalers. And what's interesting is, what is probate at the end of the day? Mom and dad own a house and they pass away. Well, if they don't have an estate plan, they don't have a trust, they cannot avoid going through probate. So what happens is the state comes in and they get involved and they have to look at the estate because nobody put a will, a trust. They didn't put anything together, didn't spend a little bit of money and protect and set up their assets. So now the state goes out and has to go through this arduous journey. What's ironic about probate is it's 10 times more expensive to go through probate than it was to just set up the trust. It's so silly. And so there are wholesalers that their entire business model is just going after these 600 knuckleheads that decided I'm not going to get a trust because I, for some reason, want my kids, my siblings, my whoever, to have to take my estate through probate. Makes no sense. I don't understand it. I mean, a lot of people make money on people being knuckleheads, but these are the two reasons why you have to have a trust. I don't understand. People want to go and save money by just having an LLC. Your LLC should be owned by a trust. Now, of course, I trust Tracy and Dustin. See, I have a little play on word there, trust. I trust that they're teaching you guys that in either some ebooks or maybe some in-person classes. But whatever they tell you to do, just go ahead and do it. These are my two reasons. I got 10 other reasons. These are my number one and my number two. Whether it's an in-person class and you see all these corporate structures set up the right way, a trust is literally the foundation of the entire estate plan. LLCs are cheap and effective to get started, but having trust is absolutely necessary for having an actual estate plan. So hopefully this was helpful and you enjoyed me cussing and telling you stories about Saran Wrap. See you later.